Government says it is stepping up efforts to support media freedom, strengthen democracy, and push forward digital reforms. At the same time, the information sector is being modernized to keep up with changing technology. President Hakainde Hichilema has reaffirmed his administration's commitment to promoting a vibrant and independent media. The president made the remarks during the UNESCO World Press Freedom Day Global Conference in Lusaka, where he was represented by Minister of Information and Media, Cornelius Mweetwa.
We also note as something important for the media fraternity that in the last 5 years, our government has posted notable and appreciable significant progress in the full restoration of the rule of law that has seen the end of political violence, which affected many citizens, including journalists who are normally found in those spaces.
President Hichilema says since 2021, government has introduced a number of legal and policy reforms aimed at strengthening media freedom and democratic governance.
Zambia continues to demonstrate its commitment to democratic governance, media freedom, and the promotion of fundamental rights through a series of legal and policy reforms. In this regard, the government has repealed the Zambia National Broadcasting Corporation Act to transform the Zambia National Broadcasting Corporation into an independent public service broadcaster responsive to the diverse needs and aspirations of the people of Zambia, away from the perception that because it was state-owned, therefore it was a carrier of just the voice of those in government. With this amendment, it is expected that the national broadcaster will now freely provide balanced coverage, especially as we head to the general elections of August 13, 2026, so that all voices of all interest stakeholders can be given equal platform to be heard and inform the citizenry about the choices they would like to make.
Meanwhile, global stakeholders have raised concern over growing risks faced by journalists. UNESCO Assistant Director General for Communication and Information, Maria Gabriel, says media practitioners are increasingly under threat around the world.
The 10% decline in global freedom of expression since 2012, a setback comparable to major periods of instability in the 20th century, such as the 2 world wars and the Cold War. Over the same period, this striking figure is compounded by a 48% increase in attempts to control or restrict the media, and a 63% rise in self-censorship driven by physical threats, economic pressure, abusive judicial actions, and online harassment.
Permanent delegate of Japan to UNESCO and chair of the International Program for the Development of Communication, Takehiro Kano, has called for stronger protection of journalists amid declining global press freedom.
We should explore our collaborative efforts to that end, recognizing emerging challenges such as escalating disinformation, AI-generated misinformation, digital surveillance, economic pressures on independent journalism, and violence against journalists.
At the same conference, Sudanese photojournalist and filmmaker Mohamed Zakaria described his work in conflict zones as a way of restoring humanity to stories, often reduced to statistics.
The people in the camps are not statics. The families and their shells are not number. They are human beings, and they are our families and our relatives, and they deserve a witness. That's why we are right now as like Sudanese journalists working in this reality.
And United Nations Under-Secretary General and Special Advisor on the Prevention of Genocide, Professor Chaloka Beyani says journalists and communication platforms play a key role in either escalating or preventing conflict.
Media is one of the most important watchdogs we have in society, as it bears the indisputable mission to inform, educate, and pursue social change, and ultimately to improve people's well-being and life, because let's not forget it, in some circumstances, access to information can save lives.
The World Press Freedom Day Conference has brought together global stakeholders to discuss the role of media, technology, and governance in promoting stability and development. Sharon Siame, ZNBC News, Lusaka.